This is May 26th, and we're out on Lake Washington, and I'm desperate to try to catch the spawn happening on Lake Washington. The weather's been so goofy. It's been warm, then cold, and then warm, and then cold, and it's been predominantly cold for about a month, and I don't think we're any closer to the spawn, to be perfectly frank. And I don't know how the fish are going to react to this prolonged cold snap. But we're going to go out and give it a try, see what we can catch. So I'm heading up towards Juanita Bay, and I figured I might as well troll on the way up, and yeah, I got a bite here, which was kind of cool because I didn't expect to actually get a bite doing this. Like you can see, not at all expecting anything, and I didn't get much. It's a rock bass, and look at the size of the lure. It's my fire craw. He hammered it. The hooks were in his mouth. Well, let's hope that in general that's an indication that the fish are willing to bite. So we're going to continue to troll up towards the bay here. And one of the next stops is this marina here. And I just figured that with all that structure and being in 30 feet of water and the fish not being up in the shallows yet, there's a really good chance that there's a fish in here. Now I wasn't paying real close attention to the live scope, but I just assumed that there probably was a fish here, and I'm trying to troll right along the edge of this. Now I have since looked at this structure on live scope, and it's just this this concrete wall that you see here. It goes down into the water about 3 or 4 feet, and then under that it's all big, huge steel pilings that come up and connected at an angle. So there is some structure under there that the fish are likely to hold on, and so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that as I troll through here, I'm going to pick up a fish. And at this point, I don't have a whole lot for the year-long tournament, so I'm hoping it's a fish of reasonable size. And so, sure enough, I get a hit right there. Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited here because it feels like a pretty good fish, and this is one of the reasons why I'm out on Lake Washington. It's got some really nice fish in it, and I'm hoping to, like I say, add another fish to my year-end total tournament, and this feels like it could possibly do the trick. Little jump there, and he didn't manage to get off, which was nice. And you can see that that front hook got him right in the lips, so he was trying to eat that lipless crankbait. So there you go. No question that fire craw pattern will catch fish, particularly in the spring. So they say. I don't know. Probably works year round, honestly. I don't know what it was about that fish, but he's remarkably well behaved. They let me take about 3 or 4 pictures of him, and I fussed with his tail. I had to work pretty good to get him at 17 and a half, but I got a photo of him at 17 and a half, so that's what we're going with. He's a 17 and a half inch fish, which was big enough to supplant another fish on my top 10, so very happy with that. And now it's time to try to fish this area some more, which I did, and I didn't pick up any more fish here. I made several more passes, but it was all for naught. Total waste of time. So I trolled the rest of the way up to the bay, and as I went around the corner, it was super nice. It got calm, and it was a nice little weedy bay in there, and yeah, I got a hit right there. It was I was fishing a wacky worm, and all of a sudden the line started going sideways. So I set the hook, and it didn't look like much of a fish, but right there when I went to get the net under the fish, he popped off. And I'm thinking to myself, c'est la vie. It wasn't a very big fish anyway. Now, like I said, at the time, I didn't think much of losing that fish because it didn't seem like it was a big fish. But the more I thought about it, the bigger the fish seemed to get in my mind. And I started to get really frustrated and steamed. And the fact that I didn't catch any more fish for the rest of the day got me really fixated on that thing. And so I resolved that within the next couple of days, I have to return back here because obviously in that general area, there's largemouths. And I do need a largemouth. So, I got to come back and give that a whirl. So stick around on this video right here. We're going to do the second day that I was out on Lake Washington, and there might be some redemption in it for me, so stick around. Okay, yeah, so sue me. I had to go see if I could catch that largemouth in that bay again. Just had to do it. So here we are, taking the wheels off, getting everything set up and adjusted, and then we're going to head north. Now, given that I caught that 17.5-inch fish off of the marina dock, I sort of resolved that any dock that looked like it was going to have some deep sections to it, I was going to stop and fish. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to work my way north, and I'm going to stop and fish a few docks here. And this is the first one. And so toss my wacky worm under there, and bam, got a bite. I could tell from the fight this wasn't a monster, but hey, it's a fish. And I didn't get a rock bass to start out on this trip, so I got an actual smallmouth, which was a nice touch. And you notice I tried to turn my camera on, and I haven't got this all worked out yet at this point. I'm getting there now, but I didn't have it yet. Okay, well, I have the first fish of the day. Okay, he's not much of a fish. He's about 11 inches, just shy of what would count in some tournaments. So let's get out of here, little buddy. So let me just tell you what it is I was fishing. I was fishing a dock, obviously, but not just any dock. So the water temps here in Lake Washington right now, 57 degrees, and the fish just aren't up yet. And what I have seen so far is that docks that come out into deep water, this one's 23 feet, I caught them right here at the end of this dock. And I'll continue to fish this and see if there's any other fish under there. But yeah, that seems to be the one place where I've been consistently finding them, is in 20 to 30 feet of water and on docks that go out that deep. So they're referencing structure that is in deep water. All right, let's see if we catch another one here. Now, this dock is particularly annoying because it's got cross members on it, but the one place it doesn't have cross members is on the back side here, so we got to get back over here. Well, so I did fish a couple of docks moving up the lake, and first dock that I fished, nothing. Didn't get any bites, no reaction, nothing. So moved on to another dock, same thing, no bites, nothing. It was one of those days where, well, and this happens often in the early spring. It's just, it's not gangbusters. You got to work at it. But hello, my old friend. Here's the marina where I caught the 17.5-inch fish on the previous trip. And I thought, all right, well, I'm just going to troll up along here, and all will be right with the world. I'm going to catch me a big old smallmouth. And, well, that didn't happen. I trolled through here a couple times and no bites. But I turned a live scope on, and I could see there was fish down there. So I started casting to them, and I caught a fish. I got a hit on it's a real small paddle tail that I was fishing, and smallmouths just love it. And so yeah, got this guy hooked on a line. So I was really thrilled to catch this fish. It was a decent fish, not a huge fish, but bigger than the previous one for sure. And I was thrilled to have him. So here I am turning my camera on, but I'm a geriatrical fool and I can't figure out that you have to hold the button down for 3 seconds, Pat. 3 full seconds. Anyway, my ADD kicks in and I lose interest. So I didn't get the camera turned on. Oh boy. So I did measure the fish. That's why the net's right in front of the camera because I'm measuring the fish. And it was a nice fish, but it was under 17 inches, so it wasn't going to help me any. It's nice to see they're exuberant like that when they leave. So we're gonna fish this some more, but it didn't do me any good. I spent probably another half an hour there and didn't get any other bites. So we moved on up the lake. As per my standard operating procedure, I was trolling as I was heading to my next spot, and yeah, got a hit right here, and actually set the hook, which is sort of surprising for me. It didn't feel like this was a giant fish, but any fish is a wonderful fish, so we're bringing them in. You can see me talking to my camera, trying to get it to come on. I had powered it on and I had set it to not record, and it is audio activated, but you got to get the sequence of words correct. That's a brand new camera. I'm struggling with it. I am getting better with it. Future Pat can tell you that it works a lot better once you know what you're doing. But yeah, let's net this fish and try not to knock it off while you're netting it, Pat. Okay, good. You got it. All right, we got another one. This one's a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Acaso to come on for the 16.5-inch one, or whatever it was, 16 and 3/4. I didn't measure it because it wasn't going to make any difference. And this guy right here is probably 13 inches. Let's just see here. He'd probably make 14. Yeah, he'd probably make it on most tournament schedules. That would be a keeper. Nice looking fish. Unfortunately, doesn't help me any. And away we go. So that's 2 keepers so far for today. And what I'm fishing with is an imitation Kitex with a VMC head. And actually I was just trolling it, trying to get to a spot that I wanted to fish. So, you know, that is a what we call a bonus fish, because I wasn't really fishing. Also, while we have this recording, that right there is a salmon smolt, and it's what that 16.5-inch fish spit up. So that is what they're feeding on. So the guy that I'm using is a little bit smaller than what they've been feeding on. You can see there, that's what I'm fishing with, and that's what they're eating. So it doesn't surprise me that the one I caught's a little bit smaller, because the bigger ones probably want something bigger to eat. Okay, we just zipped past all that yawny stuff, and then we've joined our intrepid hero here up in Juanita Bay. We're in that same area where I caught that largemouth. In fact, that log you see on the left, I hooked him right there, and I just made a cast into that log, and it was literally inches from it, and something didn't feel right, and it turns out that the fish was swimming straight at me, and I saw the fish and I realized, oh, he's got the worm. And so you saw me set the hook multiple times to make sure that this little rascal didn't get away. And in fact, he did not. And so I am 100% convinced, true or not, 100% convinced that that's the same fish. It certainly seemed like the same size. And so, yeah, I did get redemption. Caught that damn fish because I wanted to see how big it was. And having caught it, you'll not be surprised to find out that it was right around 16 inches, which is exactly what I thought it was. And that's not really big enough to help me. So after 18 hours, 16 to 18 hours of fishing, I've caught a bunch of small fish and three medium-sized fishes. And so, yeah, that was my 2 trips to Lake Washington. So that's pretty much all I got for you. Please hit the like button. That really helps. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And let me just say I appreciate you stopping by and watching the videos. Thank you very much.